Well, hey everyone. I am Dr. Nancy Stanley, physical therapist, life and health coach, and I have with me some special guests today. First of all, I'm going to introduce Lauren Youmans, and she has been in my program now for 90 days and had an amazing journey. And I just wanted to share this story with you because it's different than others. Lauren has two beautiful children here, and this is, introduce yourself. What's your name?
My name is Samuel.
Okay.
Naomi.
And aren't they beautiful? And Lauren would tell you, I'm going to let her tell you.
These two are my why. They are the reason that I started pursuing different opportunities to be healthier, the reasons that I make the decisions that I do for our family and our home. I don't want them to have the same struggles I've had in my life. So trying to start them out on a good path with learning as much as I can learn so that I can pass it on to these two. So why number one and why number two.
Okay. All right. So she homeschools them, by the way. So, there's some challenges with being home all day and, fixing food for kids and whatever. So I'm going to scoot up here and get in here so I can. All right, so here we go, so I can get us all in. All right, so Lauren has had a journey for a long time.
10 or more years.
Yeah, and when we got together, I thought, okay, this is going to be a challenge because she had tried a lot of things and had done some successfully, but just couldn't make it sustainable. So, Lauren, go ahead and just share your journey.
Through a series of unpreventable and unavoidable health situations, I found myself over 200 pounds, well over 200 pounds, 220 when I started this, and have never successfully been able to get it off and keep it off. And I haven't seen below 200 until the weekend.
Yeah.
It was last week when I finally stepped on the scale and I was like, Wonderland. Yes, it starts with a 1. And so I've tried a variety of things and just found myself, probably like many of you, just really frustrated because I felt like I was getting conflicting information. Oh, it's about counting calories. Oh, no, you got to go low carb all the time. Well, you've got to watch your hormones. You got to do this and that. And so when my husband recommended that I go and meet with Nancy and just try to find someone who could help me pull it all together, that's probably been the biggest thing for me is Nancy has helped me take all of the little bits of information that I had and put it into one plan that I can handle this. I can do this. I got real frustrated with having to enter food all the time to try to count macros. That was annoying to me. Chasing around kids, I was like, I ain't got time for that. So not having to count anything beyond 20 carbs.
Yeah.
Beyond 20 carbs, but even then you kind of start to, after you count them the first couple of times, you're like, oh, okay, there's not much in this. I'll be okay with this or that. So you kind of learn as you go. And it's a much more sustainable plan than I think I've ever been able to do.
Yeah. Okay. So tell me, first of all, I knew you were checking your blood sugar. Mm-hmm. And what was it when you first started?
It was probably like 124, 127, something like that.
And that's not where you want your blood sugar to be every morning, especially when you're, how old are you?
41.
Okay. You want to get it around 100 at least. So she successfully was able to get it down a good bit of the time. Mm-hmm. I think you said this morning or now or just recently.
Yeah, about 45 minutes ago it was 110, but most days it's the 106, 107. We teeter there.
Yeah, and you feel good about that.
If you feel good about that, then I feel good about that.
I feel good
because
about
you understand
that.
it better than I do.
I do because it means it's coming down. Mm-hmm. Because what Lauren is telling you is that she's been insulin resistant for 10 years, basically, and not really able to process the carbs that she was taking in. So what she's done is she's flipped her body over. She now is a fat burning machine. That's why she could fast since last night at 7:30. So tell me about the fasting. Had you done the fasting before, and what was different maybe about it now?
I've done intermittent fasting. So I would try to eat only within an 8-hour window and then fast the rest of the time until about that time the next day, and would do a 24-hour fast once a month. But now I sometimes do a 24-hour fast multiple times a week. Like today, I'm just like, oh, I'm not hungry, so I'm not going to eat lunch. Like listening to when my body tells me I need fuel versus, oh, it's 12 o'clock, I have to eat. Or, oh, breakfast is the best meal of the day, don't skip it.
Right. Yeah.
Not the best information.
Right.
So I try to fix my family a good, healthy dinner, and I'll sit down and eat with them. And I may have some pecans or a little bit of, I like turkey pepperoni. I may nibble on that if I just feel like I need something extra. But most of the time, it's one meal and I'm good.
Yeah. So you think you're saving some money on food?
Oh, yes. Especially with the way that everything costs more these days.
Yeah.
So fasting has been good. Like we did a 48-hour fast last week, and I was fine. I told my husband right at the end of it, I was like, I didn't feel like I was hungry until the last 2 or 3 hours.
Right.
But the first 45, I'm going, oh, this is good. I can handle this. Yeah, not a problem. I wonder if I should go for a third day,
There you go.
But it was Good Friday, and we already had
There you go.
a good meal plan. So.
Yeah. So no headaches, no fatigue when you're fasting.
No, I feel really good.
I know, to me, I feel more energized when I'm fasting. In fact, I just ate some lunch and I'm having this lull, and I'm like, usually I don't have that at all. And I'm like, why did I eat that? I mean, yes, we know you do have to fuel your body, but when you can fast and you can look at there, that cute thing, and you can burn off that fat that you stored, So do you remember how much sugar we're supposed to have, or how much your body needs? How many grams of sugar that it needs?
Am I right with 5?
Yeah, 5 to 10. Yeah, which is let's just say a teaspoon of sugar, that being translated to carbs or whatever. And so whatever you eat above that, guess what? It gets stored as fat, which is what your body's supposed to do. So can you see why you're packing on fat? Why 10 to 15 pounds every few months or every year? And it's like I told somebody today, I said, if Amazon showed up at my door with a case of toilet paper every day, we'd have a problem soon. Toilet paper would be everywhere. And that's kind of how our bodies are. But fortunately, it does store the fat in case it needs it. But when you're doing that every day, that's what happens. And so what Lauren's doing, she's trained her body to use what it needs, the good fuel that it needs, to turn that into energy. And her cells literally now are able to take in that glucose that prior to were not able to. And that's why she couldn't drop weight. You get stuck, you get plateaued. So I really appreciate you being willing to do this, Lauren. I'm so proud of you. I love that you're down to what did you say, Wonderland?
No, back in Wonderland. Yes.
There you go. I had another client just last week. She texted me a picture of her scale. She said, look at this, $199. I'm like, awesome. We can celebrate that. But there are a lot of non-scale victories that we talk about that you can celebrate. So what are some of yours?
I'm sleeping better through the night. I'm not waking up as often. Yep. But for me, I've noticed a difference with allergies. This is a terrible part of the world to live in if you struggle with allergies. And even though I had been able to come off medication several years ago, I still would have problems breathing through one side of my nose in winter and spring. And we started this program January 17th. Actually, I kind of started January 4th. And since eliminating gluten and eliminating sugar, I've noticed that I haven't had a single bad allergy day since this started. And so I'm going to assume that means that there was inflammation happening in my...
Yep.
There was inflammation happening in my head that's not there anymore.
Yep. And when she said, the sugar, but there's more to it than just the sugar. It's the things that the sugar's in, and just so many toxins, the fructose, the even the maltodextrin, the xylitol, the maltitol, all those sugars that are in things that we think are nutritious, like granola bars and what supposedly healthy cereal, Special K, Cheerios, all those things that are promoted as healthy. And even the morning bars, so many things have toxins in them that are just very toxic to our body. So any other non-scale victories other than the fact you look great? You're
Sam.
probably wearing clothes from the back of the closet.
I am. I'm wearing shorts that I haven't been able to wear in years.
Isn't that fun?
So, I'm glad I didn't throw them away.
I know.
I'd be in trouble.
I know.
right now.
Yeah, I know. I did that too. I love that.
I think probably one of the biggest non-scale victories for me has been getting out of my head. When you try something, different things for 10 years, and you're constantly getting told, you got to focus in this different area. Eventually you're like, you know what, I'm just a lost cause.
Yeah.
And I remember mentioning that whenever we met for the first time, that I just felt somewhat
Failure.
hopeless.
Right,
Like nothing was going to ever, okay, I guess this is just how I'm made, and I'm going to have to accept myself as a big person. And
I think as a coach, that's the thing I fear the most for people, is that they'll have a failure. And that's why I work really, really hard to make sure I get the right people in, and that, the program works. And, I've had people through this 90 days that said, I plateaued, what can I do? And we'll lean in and do something different to get them to break that barrier. Because you will have plateaus. There are times your body everybody's different, but you have hung with it. I'm so proud of you, and I'm celebrating with you, girl. Yeah. And I would think probably your confidence level in every area of your life, because it all bleeds in together. When you're carrying around extra weight on your body, it's a heavy burden. It's heavy to carry, and you never feel like you look quite right. You hate going to the closet. You don't want to buy any new clothes, because why would you buy more of those loose tops? And now you're feeling better about it. So I know for me, when I'm feeling good about myself, then I want to keep the house nicer. I want to, I want to keep my car cleaner. I want to keep my finances in more order. I want to, be with the Lord more, because I'm not ashamed. So guilt and shame is something that is a heavy burden as well. Well, thank you so much, Lauren. I appreciate you and your family and what y'all do for this community. And I just appreciate you. And y'all have a great day, and let me hear from you now. I'm starting a challenge, and I've got some spots, so let me hear from you and add you in soon. And say bye, y'all.
bye.
Okay.
Jump on the challenge.
Bye. See you next time. See you on Monday.